And another news is about a guy, a pastor whose name, I don't know how to say his name. Y'all going to have to help me with this one. It's Saeed Abedhina. He's a pastor who's going to be serving 8 years in a prison in Iran for his Christian faith. And his wife said that the Lord has counted our family worthy enough to send Saeed to a dark place that he would be able to share with people who are in complete despair. Okay, that's good. This minister just went over to Iran to spread the gospel of Christ. Okay, but he was arrested for his Christian faith. Crazy. That's just the same thing what happened to this Christian woman who was beaten by Muslims because of a cross that was saw in her car. It's very sad what's going on now. It seems that every time when we have American ministers or American evangelists go over overseas, they will get killed. They will get in prison. We still have Christians over there in prison that were still trying to get out. And the wife, and this is what the pastor was over here. This is what the pastor was doing. The pastor who was arrested in Iran in July 2012. Now that was a long time ago. That is 2 years ago that he was been over there. He'd been in Iran in the prison for 2 years so far. Almost 2 years. Okay, sorry, almost 2 years. He was arrested in July of 2012 while working on an orphanage project. And was tried and sentenced to 8 years in prison for threatening national security. Now, I like how the news report did this, national security. But he was actually arrested for his Christian faith. The American Center for Law and Justice, which represents the couples and several other Christian organizations that have led a campaign calling for his release, and have accused Iranian authorities for violating human rights by refusing to give him the surgery he needs. Okay, now this Christian guy just went over there to witness God. Okay, he went over there to talk about Jesus. He went over there to witness the people. But then he has a surgery that he needs. I really do not know what kind of surgery he needs. I'm not aware of what surgery he needs right now, but that they are refusing to give him surgery that he needs. He needs the surgery, but I will probably post some more information about under the comments below about what the surgery he needs. But the pastor has suffered several beatings while he was in prison last month and was moved to a hospital for better care. Now this is outstanding. While this pastor was in prison, he's seen so many inmates give their hearts to Christ. Now that's what it all means. If people give their life to Christ, that's the only thing that matters. If you give your life to Christ, if you're in prison and you see many people give their life to Christ, that is good. I love that when people give their life to Christ in prison. So let's go back that he was building an orphanage. He was arrested while working on the orphanage. His charges were threatening national security, were related to his house church work, as he was seen as committing soft war. But this is why he was really arrested for. We take this opportunity to call once again for the release of the pastor who has been arrested, who is currently being held in Iran of charges related to his religious belief. Okay, now I love what his wife said. This is what his wife said. You know, my ultimate hope is in God. I can't think of the 8 years. It just paralyzes me. God has given me continued hope to take a day at a time. I know that with so many praying, I am grateful for all the people signing my petitions. One day I know that my husband will be out of that prison, but it will not be. Sealy is in that prison. Is not decided by that is not decided by the Iranian government. Now she's saying that it's not decided by them, but it is only appointed by God. God can get him out of that prison. I believe that he will be out of that prison in no time. I am very optimistic and hopeful that he will be freed soon. My prayer is that Jesus will be glorified from all of it, and my people will know that it is God who has delivered my husband. At this point, there are no more options with the legal system in Iran, and at this time, it has to be a miracle. Now, I believe that he will be out of that prison. We just have to pray about it. Because I believe that like, we're all going to be persecuted for what we believe in. It's going to happen all over the world. It's already happening with many people. We just have to keep praying. We have to have our faith strong in the Lord. We have to keep pressing on, no matter how many people is going to be against us. And it's very sad, but I will have more news and information under the link below.